reason he was around for as long as he was, but you guys made a hell of a team together, and we already said that he, and things of that nature, but how was Sylvain as a partner, and how did he really, maybe learn from you too, and kind of, you guys work with each other based off of your history?
I never met him, okay? It was a situation where there was an opportunity because of the media and what was going on in the real world to capitalize on that situation, and it was like right place at the right time, okay? Right place at the right time, and luck. And 99% of the time in this business, that's what it's all about. And it was like faith. And then, because I really didn't want to be stuck in OVW. Yeah, I was young, but it got old really quick. Okay, working the flea market every Sunday in Louisville, Kentucky, got really fucking old. Excuse my language. Okay, so I was going to take any opportunity that I could. I wasn't going to pull an Elijah Burke and refuse to do something. Like, for example, when sorry, I'm going off topic, but when they brought in the Spirit Squad or whatever, remember that?
Yep.
Well, Elijah Burke refused. They wanted him to be in there, and he said no. So I wasn't going to do that. Here's my opportunity to go on TV, go on debut on Raw, because that's the show to be on, quite frankly. And within, 2 or 3 months, we were tag team champions. Main eventing Raw. Headlining pay-per-views. Fuck. It was kind of cool. But as far as Sly, no, I didn't like the guy. Does that answer your question? We don't like each other. We haven't talked to each other and probably never will. So
now, with Kenzo Suzuki, did you enjoy teaming with him? Because I know, obviously, you broke up with La Resistance, you got moved over to SmackDown, but did you enjoy him as a tag team partner?
Well, he was great. That's when I got into Japanese culture, traveling him and his wife. But I spent more time in Japan than I did with the WWE or the United States, I had a 7 or 8 year career. But now I'm winding down. Now I'm only 31. I'm going to be 32 in December, but I had my fill at wrestling, so to speak. It's time to do something else. I say that now, but a wrestler never retires, right?
Now, if I could, I just wanted to jump to Japan. I'll come back to WWE. I just wanted to jump to Japan. But I know you said you love the culture, but how did you like wrestling in front of the crowds? There's always differing opinions on the Japanese crowd. Some say it's too quiet, blah, blah, blah. But how did you enjoy the crowds?
If you're good, you can get anybody off their ass. And it took time, but I learned how to get them off their ass. That's why I stayed there so long. You know what I mean? I learned how to get over that crowd.
Yep.
And there it's different. For example, if it's an opening match, they're going to treat it as an opening match. But if it's a match with significance, like a title match that has importance and that has been built up right, they're going to get more involved into it. They'll get more with the false finishes, and they'll be just as loud as the American crowd. Okay? Now, with WWE, they do everything on TV. Nobody gives a shit if it's a title match or not. You don't even know the rules. You don't know what the hell's going on. You know what I mean? Who gives a shit if it's a title match? They switch the belt every other week. You know what I mean? As far as tag titles or Intercontinental, I couldn't tell you because I hardly ever watch. I couldn't tell you who the tag champs are now or who the Intercontinental champion is now. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. You know what I mean? So
there are definitely a lot of title changes, title switches. I mean, obviously it's done to death and it's done too often. But in All Japan Pro Wrestling, you were actually the TV champ there for a time. And what was the story behind that? You were the champ, and then you never actually defended the title. You gave it back. Were you done with All Japan at that point?
Well, it was a situation where the administration switched. Muta and the presidents resigned from All Japan, and they formed Wrestle One. So I was under the administration of Muta. They were the ones that decided to put the TV title on me. And so when they resigned, it was like a bidding war between Wrestle One and All Japan. And at the time, the president that took the place of Muta in All Japan was not very well respected, I can say. So I stayed loyal to Muta, and I kindly sent their belt back to All Japan. No hard feelings. It's business, So
business.
Well, I never lost the All Japan TV title, so technically I'm still the All Japan TV champion.
Good point. Now, how did you enjoy working for Great Muta? Obviously, he's one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, and definitely one of the greatest Japanese wrestlers. But, well, did you enjoy working for Muta? And is he as good of a boss as he is as a wrestler?
Yeah, he just wants to go out there and sign autographs. He's tired of wrestling. His knees are all fucked up, man. I mean, he's doing that moonsault. He's a big man, too. He's like 6'3", 260. Dude, I didn't realize how big he was until when I met him. I was like, fuck, he's a big man. And to be able to move like he did at that size, unreal. You know what I mean? But, yeah, he was cool. It was just go out there and work. It was like an old school wrestling promotion. It wasn't sports entertainment. You know? That's what I liked about All Japan. You go out there and work a hole, and the Japanese audience was accustomed to pro wrestling, wasn't accustomed to a bunch of bullshit sports entertainment where you're getting put through tables and hit over the head with steel chairs and backstage vignettes and all that jazz, you know.
Now, you also competed in Hustle, which is, a very unique Japanese promotion with possibly one of the most popular Japanese wrestlers / MMA fighters of all time, and that's Nobiko Takada. Now, with Takada, I guess you were in the Takada Army at one point, but did you enjoy your time in Hustle? Because that's a little bit of a different promotion for Japanese standards.
That was more entertainment as far as backstage vignettes and stuff, but I just wanted to get my foot into Japan. I didn't care what promotion I went. You know what I mean? Because I knew once they seen me and they seen that I could wrestle and I had a good attitude or whatever, that I was going to stay there for a while, which I did, But I mean, they were drawing huge houses. It was unbelievable. They were selling out the Budokan. They were packing Korakuen Hall like 2 or 3 days in a row. And it was great work because you go over there, you stay there a week or 3 weeks, and you'd only have like 2 or 3 matches, and you had so much downtime just to visit the country and hang out, It's cool. So I enjoyed it, yeah. That was my foot in the door.
Is there any Japanese wrestlers that really stick out to you that you like working? Because I believe you work Kishida, who's great wrestler, and he's the IWGP Junior champ right now. And I think you wrestled Kawada, if I remember correctly. But is there any Japanese guys that really stick out to you that you wrestled over there?
Sonata. TNA Sonata.
Yeah.
Well, he was with TNA. Unreal. TNA doesn't know how to fucking use talent, dude. Oh my god. Yeah. They're fucking brutal. Are they still in business, by the way?
Yes. They're barely hanging on right now. Yeah, they're on Destination America here in the U.S. And they seem to be barely hanging on.
No, all those Japanese wrestlers can go. All of them. You know what I mean? And Kushida, I worked with him, and he was just starting out, And we have another one at Tajiri's, because he was Tajiri's student, Kushida. And now I had one on my tour here, Kodama. I don't know if you've heard that name yet, but you probably will in the near future because he's like a mini Tajiri. Unbelievable. Looks like him, walks like him, walks and talks like him. It's amazing.
Is there anybody else that you would say it could be a standout like that from your guys up there with you?
That wrestle with Grand Prix, you mean?
Yes.
It's hard to say. I mean, where the only platform that they can get would be maybe an ROH or, Japan. Unless you go with New Japan, you kind of have to go through ROH now, the way it is now, because New Japan and them have a working relationship, correct?
Yes.
And New Japan pretty much owns Noah, and those are like some of the only 2 that actually fly foreigners back and forth. And now foreigners are so desperate to get international exposure that they're willing to fly themselves over there and live in their dojos and wrestle for free, just to get the exposure, just to get the experience, So it is what it is. The wrestling business now, it isn't wrestling business anymore. It's sports entertainment. And that's a sad thing, if you ask me.
But do you think there's pockets? Do you think there's pockets though of those niche? I said, do you think there's pockets of those niche promotions that they try their hardest to really promote wrestling on the marquee, but it comes to be that ticket sales translate to sports entertainment, and they start to kind of cash in on their what their style was supposed to be versus what it ends up being. And do you think that that's just still going to be an ongoing problem within quote wrestling business?
I don't know. It's hard to say. Like I said, I'm pretty much done with the whole wrestling game. I'd like to do the convention circuit where I don't have to take any bumps because my brain's been so scrambled throughout the years that it's starting to affect me. It's starting to affect my daily life. It has been now that I'm getting older. Like it started when I was like 27. You start forgetting stuff. You start. It's screwed up, man. Like I said, I've had 25 concussions just with WWE. And you think about it, you think, oh, that's so many. Not really, because when you're working a full-time schedule, and I was there 5.5 years, and you wrestle, 150, 250 matches a year, to have 4 or 5 concussions a year, you think that's highly unlikely? No, that's very normal, So.
What's your take on the lawsuit that's out there by some former contracted performers suing WWE for negligence of known injuries that they were like, hey, take 2 of these and you'll be just fine. Have you been contacted to participate in that, or do you have any kind of perspective on those guys that are in the process of it?
I don't know anything of it, but I can tell you from experience that, yeah, there is definite negligence. At least there was, I don't know about now. I don't know about now. I think they're trying to cover their tracks, but I have no opinion of it. What happens, happens, and I just want to stay clear from that place.
Because you're saying you don't really follow the current product, but who do you see as the future face of the company?
It doesn't matter. WWE, the brand, is the future face of the company. You know what I mean? They're going to draw one of the biggest audiences in the history of WrestleMania. Is Cena on the card? No.
Not this year, no.
No, they don't need him. Who's Undertaker wrestling?
Shane O'Mac.
Kid.
Yep.
Yeah. You understand? It don't matter. WrestleMania is the draw. WWE is the draw. Okay? You can break it down, the Cena tours were this much, or this. Brother, everybody's replaceable, okay? And after 2 or 3 years, they've seen your act. They're on so much television now, they've seen your act. It's old news, quick. I mean, if nobody ever sees You Can't See Me again, I don't think they'll care. They're ready for something new, Do you guys agree?
I definitely agree, and I think a lot of the fans definitely agree. It's time, for the next guy to come up, and I'm sure when that guy passes, they'll be looking for the next guy.
That's it. You're a spoke in the wheel. You're a piston in the engine. It's a machine. They come to town. They come to town either once or twice a year in the big markets, once every 5 years in the small markets, and they'll sell out every time. Because
that's true.
For example, Neville, Pac, he's a hell of a fucking unbelievable. He's an opening match. Okay, that's what he is. It's like a rock show. You go to a rock show. What happens? Saying Kid Rock comes to town. He's gonna fucking play the song off his new album. One of the hit songs that's usually fast tempo to get the people up. Boom. That's what Neville is. He's a fucking fast tempo. Boom, 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 boom. Get the people up on their feet. Then you gotta bring them down. Then you bring them back up. You bring them down. Then you take them home with something big, and pop the crowd. 1, 2, 3, yay! And then usually they put something like Undertaker or whoever the fuck that they want to sell merchandise. Right, but that's the best spot to get. That's the spot I want. If I was a babyface, right before intermission. Why? Because who's the last gig they see before intermission? And they go spend money. You, right? Yeah. Or the main event, because then on their way out, they want to buy the Cena T-shirt or whatever the fuck, right? It's a business, man.